Hello, my friends! We are back for another video on intentions for the new year in 2019. So hopefully when you're watching this, it's 2019 and not years from now. I guess it still applies. We'll see. If you didn't catch my first video, I talk about why it's so absolutely necessary that we set in clear intentions for ourselves, and we set them intentionally because they literally control the outcome of our entire lives, whether we like it or not. They're always in play. So to learn more about that, check out the first video. And yeah, educate yourself about it because it's super powerful and you don't want to become a victim of your life like so many of us are. And it's really cool when you learn to use these tools to empower yourself. Last video, I talked about my first two intentions for 2019, and those were be heard and follow the flow. Very cool stuff if those ideas interest you, and strengthening your voice and tuning into your intuition. Definitely check that video out as well. Today we are going to talk about the next two, which are keep going and easier done than said. And I absolutely love these intentions because they are, all of them I chose them for a reason. They just flow for me. They feel right. But keep going is an intention that became a mantra for me last year. I didn't super wholeheartedly follow it because it meant something else to me last year. Last year, after a meditation, just received the guidance of let's keep going. But it was more of a, hey, you're going through a lot right now. Just keep going. More comforting style. This year, my intention with keep going is a lot more, not so aggressive, but persistent and action based. So when I was out in Portland, this is also cool. When I was out in Portland a couple months ago, I knew I wanted to get a tattoo out there. I didn't know what it was going to be. I ended up getting a bicycle, very Portland-like, but and it didn't really have a good meaning. But every single time I look at it, all I can think is let's keep going and keep going. So this year, that is all about persistence. And a friend introduced me to Earl Nightingale a couple weeks ago, and I got to watch his video called The Strangest Secret on YouTube. And in that, he talks about this profound idea, and I say profound because it just blew my mind. I had never thought of it before, that faith and persistence are the same thing. So if you want to practice faith, you have to practice persistence. That was really helpful for me because I honestly didn't, I was being told to have more faith and ask to be filled with more faith, but I really didn't know what that meant. So when I heard that and it just clicked for me, I got it. I had a tangible idea that I could comprehend and hold on to. So this keep going is all about taking action this year. It's all about not letting anything disrupt my flow. So in the last video, I talk about knowing the difference between flow and what is being forced and what is flowing but you're just resistant to. So once you tune into that feeling, and I recommend you go back to that video to understand that a bit more. But once you know you're in something that is in flow, if you experience any setbacks, absolutely do not let it stand in your way. The universe works in these ridiculously crazy ways that us in our human forms and our ego sense cannot comprehend. So we just want to play small and scrunch up and be like, no, I failed. Oh, I'm backing off. I can't do that. You just can't. You owe it to yourself to keep going because. So the universe makes, we think our goal starts here and it goes here, and you've seen this 1,000 times, but it's more like this. Well, those are necessary detours that you need to take in order to show up at at your goal at the exact right spot at the exact right time. The universe is doing all of these things in your favor. So if you have to fail at one point, well, that's because you need, that failure was necessary to teach you a lesson, or to make you meet the right people, or to just do all the stuff that needed to be done in order to take the next step. That failure was necessary in order for you to succeed. So keep going. Do not let anything stand in your way this year. That's so important. And I absolutely love that. also, I'm glad I wrote that down because I was not going to remember this. I was also introduced to, what is the book? Think and Grow Rich. They also have that available on YouTube, the entire audiobook, and it's really cool. I've been diving into that, and I recommend you check that out as well. It's super inspiring. But they tell a story there about how this guy went out, so like California during the gold rush, or Colorado, and was digging for gold, invested in so much equipment and machinery, and he hit some gold and then kept digging, but then lost like all of his money in using that equipment and whatnot, and then stopped. He finally gave up, and then he sold his equipment to somebody or something, gave his equipment away, and that person went back. He educated himself on how to figure out all of the geology and whatnot. I'm not going to pretend like I know any of that stuff. And he dug 3 feet deeper than the original guy went and hit so much gold, like a ridiculous amount that made him extremely wealthy, like wealthier than anybody I could possibly know today. So that guy took it as a lesson. He then adopted that. He was like, I failed. I missed gold by 3 feet, and he took it into the insurance world because that's where he felt guided to go, I guess. And he was like, I will absolutely not let that happen in this. I will become the best insurance broker ever. And that's what he did. And nothing stopped him. So any failure that you encounter, keep going. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely necessary for you to just take, like, there's so much value in it. Take that value and just go. The second intention for today is easier done than said. And I absolutely love this one because we're so used to just affirming that whole entire mantra of, oh yeah, that's easier said than done. And it's so, oh gosh, it's always like, oh, that's a nice idea, or like wishful thinking and stuff. And it just keeps you so small. But if you start to just set this intention that, yeah, I'm going to take action. These are both action-based intentions. It's easier done than said. It's easier to have done it and experienced it than it would have been to just talk about it and think, what if? And that makes all the difference in your life. When my pop-up was alive, he had told me one time, and it only took one time for this to stick forever. He said to me, this needs to be done. Do it now or it will never get done. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to go do that now. And as soon as that happened, that's been every single time I need to get my butt in gear because something's flowing, a divinely inspired idea comes to mind. It's take action on this now in any way you can. Otherwise, it will pass in that moment, and that moment won't come back to you because you are only the moment and need to act on it then. Otherwise, it'll just flee. And as you tune into either of these more and more, you're going to see that divine inspiration show up for you more and more, and you're going to feel so excited to take action, and you're just going to have all these moments. I mean, I have certainly been experiencing that lately, and it's not even the new year yet, and I've only been mindfully paying attention to this intention for a couple of days now. So your life will absolutely turn around. But if you guys find these to be helpful, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on them, if they inspire any new intentions in yourselves. Leave a comment anywhere where you're watching this. I would love to hear, because you also need to be heard. That one strengthens your intentions and your ideas and everything, and also other people need to hear that too, to be inspired to go and do and set their own intentions and whatnot. So be that source of inspiration for people. And yeah, absolutely. Definitely keep in touch with me on social media. I am on Instagram and Facebook under Lauren Mudrock, and YouTube under Lauren Mudrock. If you want to keep in touch with this content on the daily, you can subscribe to, and I don't mean on the daily, I actually don't send emails on the daily, but you can subscribe to my newsletter so that you don't miss this, and that is on my website. It's laurenmudrock.com. So yeah, thank you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with more.